In 1938, archaeologist Wilhelm Koenig unearthed something strange near Baghdad, a small clay jar, sealed with bitumen, containing a copper cylinder and an iron rod. To most, it looked like ancient trash. But to a few fringe researchers, it looked like a battery, 2,000 years ahead of its time. Could this artifact prove that the ancients knew how to generate electricity? Or is it a modern myth built on a misunderstanding? The object, now called the Baghdad Battery, dates back to the Parthian Empire, around 200 BCE. It consists of a terracotta pot, a copper tube, and an iron rod. Inside were traces of acidic residue, perhaps vinegar or grape juice. This basic combination resembles what we now call a galvanic cell, a primitive battery capable of producing a small electrical current. The design is surprisingly consistent with what modern science knows as electrochemical principles. The copper and iron, suspended in an acid, would create a flow of electrons, exactly what you'd expect in a working battery. But what would they need electricity for 2,000 years ago? In the 1970s, researchers at the Smithsonian tried replicating the device. Later, the Mythbusters show ran their own tests. Both groups confirmed that the setup could generate a voltage, around 0.5 to 1 volt per jar. Stringing multiple jars together could yield higher voltages, but still not enough to power anything we'd call useful today. So what would that electricity have been used for? One theory suggests it powered electroplating, coating silver or gold onto other metals. But so far, no confirmed electroplated artifacts have been recovered from that era or region. Another theory proposes that the device wasn't functional in the way we understand it, but symbolic. Perhaps it had a ritual purpose, used in ceremonies that involved a spark, a sensation, or even a tiny shock. This aligns with how early electricity was used experimentally in the 18th century, long before modern lighting or devices. Of course, fringe theorists offer more radical ideas. They propose the Baghdad Battery may have been part of a network, one device among many, used for healing, religious awe, or even communication. Could this have been a fragment of an older technological inheritance? Some even go further, suggesting that knowledge of electromagnetism, static electricity, and even energy storage predates modern civilization by millennia. The use of bitumen to seal the battery's mouth wasn't crude, it was precise. Too precise, some argue, to be coincidental. Add to that the layered materials, terracotta, copper, iron, and the deliberate acid exposure, and you have something that looks suspiciously engineered. Mainstream scholars are quick to point out, No wires, no switches, no devices powered by these jars have ever been found. Most archaeologists believe the jars were simply containers, perhaps for storing sacred scrolls, papyri, or ritual materials. The electrical function, likely accidental. After all, if you combine acidic wine, metal, and clay, you might get a small current by chance. But the mystery persists, because even if it were accidental, why build more than one? The Baghdad Battery continues to hover in the space between curiosity and conspiracy. It's one of those artifacts that defies tidy categorization. Maybe it was a coincidence of materials. Maybe it was a forgotten science, practiced and abandoned. Or maybe it's a fragment of a story we've only begun to uncover. Until more evidence is found, we're left with questions. Was it a primitive power cell? A misunderstood religious object? Or proof that electricity isn't just a modern invention, but an ancient one rediscovered? Like so much of our past, it's still missing, waiting to be remembered.